Hey, what's up everybody? This is Noah Davidson with Force One Fitness. This is the 10-minute stretching routine that you should be doing after each of your training sessions. We're going to be targeting all of the most common problem areas to help improve your posture and range of motion, and also help to reduce the risk of injury. These are all going to be static stretches that you're going to hold for 20 to 30 seconds. My sister Hannah is demoing for me today. Let's go ahead and get started. The first stretch is a calf stretch. You want to wrap a towel around the top of your foot, extend the leg that you're going to be stretching, and then very gently pull the top of your foot back towards your body. You want to pull until you feel a nice stretch in that calf, and then go ahead and hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. Then go ahead and switch sides and do the same thing on the other side. Towel goes around the top of the foot, very gently pull back towards you until you feel a good stretch in the calf. Hold 20 to 30 seconds and then move on to the next stretch. The next stretch is going to be a hamstring stretch. You want to extend both legs in front of you. Put a little bit of tension in your quads. So you're going to contract your quads, very gently lock the knees, and then reach forward as far as you can. You should feel a really good stretch in the hamstrings on the back of the legs. You want to continue to reach forward as far as you can. You're going to gain a little bit of length as you're doing this stretch. So make sure you're pushing yourself forward, trying to get as far forward as you can, just getting a little bit more distance as you go along. After that, you want to widen out your stance. We're going to go for another hamstring stretch. This one you're going to take a wide stance. Let your toes rotate out and then reach for the middle again. This is another hamstring stretch. This one targets the inner hamstrings. Hamstrings are one of the biggest problem areas, so you really want to make sure that you're stretching them thoroughly, because if they are tight, they can throw off the movement of your entire body and lead to some pretty serious injuries. Next, you're going to lay back and start your hip stretches. For the first one, you want to choose one leg and pull that straight back to the shoulder on the same side. This stretch targets the hamstring tie-in. That's right where the hamstring meets your butt, and it's a spot that often accumulates a lot of tension, especially if you're deadlifting and squatting a lot. After 20 to 30 seconds, you want to bring that leg to the opposite shoulder, turning it into a glute stretch. So now you're pulling the leg across the body. You still want to keep the glutes and hips on the ground on the opposite side that you're stretching. After 20 to 30 seconds, you want to extend the knee, let your hip cross all the way over your body, and move that stretch into the lower back. To intensify this stretch, you can rotate your torso away from the leg that you're stretching. Good. After 20 to 30 seconds, you're going to switch sides. Do the same 3 stretches on the other leg. So first you're going straight back. Then again across the body. This one you should feel in your glutes, your butt cheek. And then lastly, let those hips cross over. Extend the knee and move the stretch into the lower back. All of your lower body stretches, you really want to make sure that you're doing on the ground in a seated position. If you are standing and trying to stretch your legs, you're not actually getting a very good stretch. That is because if you're standing, the muscles are contracting to support your body weight. And if they're contracting, they're not going to be relaxed, and you're not going to gain any actual length on the muscle when you go to stretch it. So the muscle really has to be relaxed for the stretch to be effective. And in order for it to be relaxed, you have to be on the ground. Good. After 20 to 30 seconds, we're going to move on to a butterfly stretch. This one targets the groin and also the lower back. You want to bring your feet together in front of you, wrap your hands under your feet, and then very gently pull yourself down to the space between your feet and your butt. And you should feel this one a little bit in the groin and also in the lower back. Good job. For your next stretches, you're going to be standing. This is another lower back stretch. Basically, you just want to bend over, relax the upper body, the head, neck, and shoulders, and let the weight of the upper body put some stretch into your lower back. You can play with the bend in your knee to adjust where you're feeling that stretch. Generally, more bend, you're going to feel it more in the lower back and less in the legs. Next stretch is a hip flexor stretch. This one's a bit difficult to get just right. You want to first start by getting into a staggered stance, one foot in front of the other. After that, you're going to squeeze your glutes really tight, lock your hips in a forward position. Once you've got that, you're going to lean back and away from the stretching side. Really got to focus on keeping those glutes tight, otherwise you're not going to feel this stretch. Probably going to have to play with this one a little bit to get it just right, but definitely make sure you do this. Hip flexors are one of the tightest areas on the body. When you're in a seated position, the muscle is in a fully contracted position, and because most of us sit throughout the day, that muscle tends to get very tight and very short. So stretching becomes very, very important. Other side, same thing. Lock those glutes into place and then lean back and away. Your back foot, you can be either up on the ball of your foot or keep it flat, whatever feels like you're getting a better stretch. Good. 20 to 30 seconds, and then you're going to move on to a chest stretch. Now, if you have a stability ball, this is definitely the way to go for your chest stretch. You're going to lay on the ball, open those arms up, and let the weight of your arms stretch those chest muscles out. This is generally the last stretch that I do and that I do with my clients, and it's most everyone's favorite. Like I said, basically you just lay on the ball, relax, and let gravity do the work. Now, if you don't have a ball, you can still get a pretty good chest stretch on a door jamb or any other vertical standing structure. Basically, you just want to grab onto the structure or door jamb with your hand just slightly above the chest, level with the shoulder, and rotate your body away from that stretching side. Do you feel that more in the chest or the shoulder?
In the chest.
Good. Perfect. If you feel it more in the shoulder, play with the placement of that arm. Bring it either up a little higher or down a little lower until you feel it mostly in the chest. Everyone's built a little differently, so most of these stretches you might have to modify just a touch. Switch sides. Grab onto the structure, rotate your torso away from that stretching side. And awesome, good job. You are now all done with your workout. Congratulations.